There are two major transcripts you can use for your study abroad application. There is a complete transcript and there is an incomplete transcript. So if you are in a 4-year institution and you get somewhere the third year, you have an incomplete transcript. Guess what? You can apply to study abroad or continue your studies in a university abroad and on a scholarship as well. My name is Fred. This is the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. We come your way every weekend, and my guest has a similar experience, and she's going to share with us, explain to us how she did it, and how you can also do it. Normally, people will talk about the complete transcript where you are done with your 4-year or 3-year bachelor's degree education, and then you apply to study a master's degree. Now, what I'm talking about today is the individual using 3 years of transcript or 6 semesters of transcript, transferring to a U.S. institution to continue her studies and on a scholarship. How did she do it? People, is it even possible for you to also do it? That's what we'll be discussing today. In the comment section, let's hear from you. And every weekend, as you know, we'll pick one person who would enjoy either a free undergraduate application if you have a high school or diploma, and also if you have a bachelor's, master's, you want to study a graduate program. There's what we call the Fred Effect Mentorship Program. If you are being selected in this giveaway, we you will get that offer for free. So let us hear from you in the comment section, and this is how you're going to join. You click on the subscribe button depending on what platform you're watching us. You click on the follow button if you're watching us on TikTok, Twitter, or X, and on Instagram, because we are live across all these platforms. And you answer the question. The question for today is, which university program or country do you wish to study and on a scholarship? So you answer any of these questions and you automatically enter the giveaway. So at the end of the session, we will make the draw just like we do it every weekend, and whoever is selected, you enjoy either a free application for undergraduate if that's what you're looking for, or we coach you through the Fred Effect Mentorship Program for you to apply to a graduate program to study abroad. So tell somebody to tell somebody that the Fred Effect is on. Is going to be another insightful session. Listen, the study abroad process shouldn't be that hard. Now, what this platform is championing is to positively communicate and give you the information that you need to get the process done. So I'm here to tell you that if my guest was able to do it, you can do it. If the Fred Effect was able to do it, you can also do it. Let us know the time that you're tuning in, and which country are you watching us from. Let me hear from you in the comment section. As you comment, and as you click on the subscribe button, you automatically enter the draw, so that at the end of the session you may be lucky to be selected and you enjoy the free offer. So let me bring my guest on and let's get started. Hi, Emmy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
So if you were not in your profession, I would have suggested that you be a model, because your fashion sense, if you don't follow her on Instagram, I think you should check her out on Instagram. If where do you get that fashion sense? Is it in a family thing, or you learn?
No, it's not a family thing. Yeah, I don't know. It just comes. People say it's like a lot, but like, how long do I take to put like an outfit? I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
just wake up and pick something.
Oh, really?
Mm.
So you some people plan it a day before. Like if I want to go
No,
to
even
church.
yesterday, I didn't know what I was wearing this morning. I thought I was going to do like a blazer or something. I woke up, I felt like maybe I should be casual. So,
In America, where people think that maybe clothes are expensive, how do you get them?
Shein.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
we are not doing a free advert for Shane. Let's get going. So for the thousands of people seeing your beautiful face for the first time, kindly introduce yourself and let's get started.
Okay, so my name is Emilia. Most people know me as Emmy since I came to the US. I don't know how I shortened my name, but yeah, my name is Emmy. So, and I graduated from Arizona State University with a Master of Global Business Management. And surprisingly, I did my undergraduate in Business Administration by Human Resources Management. And then after Masters, I got a job with Amazon. So currently, I'm an HR generalist at Amazon.
Awesome. So, Arizona State University is one of the most beautiful universities I have been to. You know, uh, and there is also University of Arizona. What's the difference?
So I'll be biased because I went to ASU, but you know the state universities are the huge ones, right?
Yeah.
So undoubtedly ASU, and then it's not like the whole of Arizona, we will just have one university. So that's where
Mhm.
University of Arizona comes in, but they do say that they are the best. Yeah.
So, University of Arizona, I have a couple of friends there. Shout outs to Ishaaku. So Arizona State University is actually located in Tempe, or some people prefer to say Phoenix, but Tempe is more beautiful than Phoenix, right? Yeah,
No.
the airport is at Tempe.
The
So
airport is in Phoenix.
oh, really?
Yeah. I
Mm.
stayed in Phoenix. My campus was actually in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my school in ASU was bought by ASU when
Oh,
ASU
okay.
is trying to enlarge their course. So like my school is usually like Thunderbird School of Global Management, but once Arizona State bought it, they've come to build a whole new like technology, really technology based campus in Phoenix, which is like very pretty. Like you can type in Thunderbird School of Global Management. Very nice.
But the main campus of Arizona State is in.
Arizona State is in Tempe. But I'm
Oh,
talking the city Phoenix is nicer than Tempe. The
oh,
only
really?
thing that's nice in Tempe is the palm trees.
All right. So what we are trying to say here is that the campus, if you are listening to us, there's a difference between Arizona State University and University of Arizona. These are two great universities that you can check out. So University of Arizona is located in a couple of hours drive from the capital, which is called Tucson. In Ghana, we call it Texan, right?
Yeah.
It's TUCSON. So you can check that university out, and I'll be showing their website. It makes it easier for you. And also, we are talking about Arizona State University, where Emmy actually graduated from. And for most people, you need to graduate, getting a bachelor's degree in from your home country before you apply for a master's. But yours is a bit different. You actually completed 3 years in KNUST,
Yeah.
and then KNUST is Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, just in case you're watching us from a different country. And you transferred to complete in the US on a scholarship to continue with your master's. Talk to us about that. What were you studying in KNUST?
Yeah. And back to the schools in Arizona, I think you
Right.
can also check out Arizona, not Arizona, NAU, not
Yeah.
Arizona University.
Northern
Yeah.
Arizona University. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is also a very good one, and most of my friends are there. They give a lot of funding
All right.
and good stipend, so you also want to check it out. Now back to my journey. Um, People usually be like, okay, I decided to study abroad at this time. Mine is a bit different. I didn't have a plan of studying abroad
Mhm.
until one professor that one so here if I say professor it means lecturer. In the US we usually refer to them as professors. So it was one of my human resource class, and then the lecturer said, oh, there's MasterCard applications open for Arizona State University, and this is a partnership. So at the time we were in third year first semester. So once you get admitted and you complete your third year, then you start your final year as an ASU student. I mean, for me, for the beginning, I didn't even still consider it, right? It was one of my friends that was a MasterCard scholar, like in undergrad. So like they kind of knew MasterCard, they kind of knew that at third year there's this opportunity. So this was somebody who had really prepared. He had his passport ready and all of that for that opportunity. But and then he was my study mate. We had a study group of about 8 people. So he was one of them. And then he was like, okay, we should go ahead and apply. And I remember my exact words saying that, oh, I know Ghana. Like they are taking 50 people from the whole Kenya state. Who am I? Like a mere person. I don't have any protocol. So I'm not going to apply because the protocol might not catch me. Like I don't want to put myself in the hope of expecting something and it fails. So I didn't want to apply. So this guy like really kept on pressuring me. And then a group like four of us decided to apply. So I always bring in this part of this guy's story because I'm like connect or surround yourself with like-minded individuals. It goes a long way to push your goals, right? You might not have the plan, maybe you have the plan of studying abroad already, but for me, I didn't have it, and that person became a catalyst for me to get
Sh-
my
Shout out,
scholarship.
shout outs to that special person. Shout out to
Yeah,
him.
that's
You want to mention his name?
Justice, but he's not even here. He didn't get the scholarship. I did.
Shout out to Justice. Shout out
Yeah,
to
Justice.
Justice.
I
Bro.
always mention him. I've mentioned him a couple of times everywhere I go. So
Okay.
just surround yourself with like-minded individuals. So once we applied for the scholarship, we did, like, Mastercard gave us the application form is like a whole essays within the application form, couple of
Mhm.
essays. So Mastercard provides scholarship for brilliant but needy students. It says that um like you must be brilliant but needy. So in the application, you are kind of justifying why we should give you the
That's cool.
scholarship.
Yeah.
So no matter how you write it, if you are needy, then they pick you.
Hmm.
So from the applications that they receive, they pick from the applications, and now you have to go for a first interview right in the initial process. So for the first interview, they are trying to. So we have in Mastercard is a lot, but in Mastercard there's every school has the Mastercard
Hmm.
as long as they have the partnership with Mastercard. So there's Mastercard KNUST who oversees KNUST students. So
Oh,
let's say this is also a good opportunity. If you are here, you have finished WASI and you don't have money to continue university, Mastercard provides ton of people with opportunities for their undergraduate studies. You get paid a monthly stipend. You get um you get to sleep in the best hostel in Kenya, the Brunei.
so
And then
this is locally. This is
yeah,
in the
this is
institution.
locally, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say maybe you are looking at graduate studies in abroad, but
Mhm.
locally or study abroad is not working right now, you can look at that Mastercard option while you try to sort your things out. Yeah,
Okay.
so the Mastercard KNST team did our first interview and they had to select from the people that they have picked from the application before they will forward us to the Mastercard ASU team. Because mind you, we're applying to Mastercard ASU. So we went for first interview. My class alone, we were about 30 people that
Wow.
applied. And then they picked about 10 of us.
So what were you studying in KNUST?
So I was studying Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. And then in Kenya, see, we do major even in business administration. So I majored in human resources management.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Which high school are you from in Ghana?
So I went to Archbishop Potter Girls Secondary School.
Oh, okay. And so from
Saturday.
there,
Yeah.
um, um,
From there, I come to Kenya see as any other person, no scholarship, to study Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a focus in human resources management. And then
so
when I got to third year,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. So, like, how many transcripts? Which year were you before you started this Mastercard
Yeah, so
application?
I was in third year first semester. And then by the time they requested our transcript, third year second semester was in because it's a process.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So
I would
you
say this transcript.
Oh, okay. So you started right, the third year level, third year first semester.
Yeah, closer to the end of the first semester, we were
Okay.
informed of the process. So when I was going home for the second semester, I knew I was going to apply. So my transcript were ready, but by the time they requested for a transcript, the second semester self has come. It was 3 months, so a whole semester had come past.
So you were coming to study in the US where the CGPA is the 4.0, but KNUST use CWA. So how were you did you work on any transcript evaluation? How were you able to, use your CWA transcript transfer to come and continue in a CGPA institution?
So at the time, they didn't require us to use the transcript evaluation
Right.
because the purpose of the scholarship is brilliance by needy. So the
Mhm.
assumption was that if you are needy, you don't have like $200 to do the transcript evaluation. So
Okay.
we just had to use like online stuff like convert maybe three. I think there was something that we did, just
Mhm.
normal conversions because they just require your GPA, right? So if you convert your CW, what's the equivalence of that? And then we just put it in the application.
Oh, okay. And you spoke about most people in your class applying. Is it only is a scholarship only for a business student or any other person
Yeah.
from any background could apply?
So they selected a couple of programs in KNUST and Ashesi University,
Okay.
right? So, like, if I can remember the courses: mechanical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
electrical engineering, biomedical engineering, civil engineering, materials engineering, finance, human resources management, supply chain management. So it was about 10 programs they selected. And this is not to say if you are not reading any of these programs, you cannot apply to a MasterCard scholarship.
Yeah.
I posted on my Instagram, one of my Instagram pages, MasterCard scholarships in art, law, humanities, right? So you just have to look for the MasterCard opportunities that fit your interest.
Right. So there's a MasterCard opportunity for people at the undergraduate level. There is one for people at the master's level, and there's also one at the PhD level. So what Emmy enjoyed was being an undergraduate student and getting that scholarship in order to continue her studies in a US institution. If you're just tuning in, you're not late. You're still live on the Study Abroad podcast. We are live on SL with Emmy, and that's what I want to talk to you about, because she has gone through the process. She has a YouTube channel where she shares her journey, and most importantly, her fashion sense. I love that. you know so she shares her experience, her journey, going through the process. And if you follow her on Instagram, she also posts most of this information there. So tell us about SL.
Yeah, so Excel is an abbreviation, right? Exploration for career, education, lifestyle. It's basically a study abroad page, but then also because study abroad is so generated, I just add a bit of my personality to it because I come off as outgoing. So it's more like, are you looking for a job in the US after school? Then there's a lot to it than you think, right? There's H1B visa sponsored roles. So I did a video on that. So it's basically everything: education, career, and just a bit of lifestyle.
You also do mock session coaching.
A
We
lot,
talk about
yeah.
your visa interview experience, but talk to us about that as well.
My visa interview experience.
No, I mean the coaching you do.
Yeah, so the coaching I do usually around a season where people are doing last I was doing the live sessions every day
Right.
for the fall season when people were going for their visa interview. So like I was on live and then people will come, like, I have my visa interview tomorrow, and then I'll ask you questions. And because we kind of have been there before, we have an idea of what the visa interview the consular is expecting you to say,
Right.
right? So basically, you share your experience. I'm like, okay, don't say this, just like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So go to YouTube and search for Excel, XCELE. So Excel with Emmy, and you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really appreciate if you do that. All right. So let's move on. So and God bless you for not gatekeeping and being able to share your journey and experience, because your process is very unique. If you meet like maybe 100 international students, you are likely to find only two people
yeah,
who went through your process. And shout outs to Miami, University of Kentucky. I think she also came from KNUST through a similar process. So were there a CGP, were there a cutoff requirement?
yeah,
You have to be brilliant, you have to be needy. So did they require a certain cutoff
yeah. I think
CWA?
CWA, it was the cutoff of 65, 60,
Oh, okay.
60 or 65.
Yeah. So as at your third year, you should have that.
Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
as
And
at the time of applying, you should have the 60 or 65. I'm not so sure of the for the GPA.
oh, okay. And you were talking to me about and I'm going to share the link. It was recently posted. It has been I think the deadline, it depends on the school. So at the moment, some of them, like the UC Berkeley one, has um
Yeah.
December 1st deadline. So I'm going to share the LinkedIn post so that you can have an idea how it goes. So if somebody is watching you from KNUST and want to go through the same process, what would be your advice? Like if you were supposed to advise young Emmy how to go about this process again, what would you have done differently?
Um I would highlight a couple of things that I think helped me, right? So MasterCard was looking for qualities, certain qualities like leadership, volunteering, community service, and those were the things that made us like imagine picking from thousands of students from the KNUST campus, and then they pick 50 people. What are they looking for? First of all, yeah, you have to be brilliant. So I think I don't even remember the CWA because when I started from a 70 something. So yeah. And then the needy part is how you justify it, right? Because I don't know, for some reason I don't see some of my friends as needy. Someone doesn't see me as needy. So it's how you justify being needy. I felt like needy is very subjective. So even though you might think that your parents are in a better place to sponsor education, it's how you justify being needy. Yeah. And the other thing is when I went to Kenya, I joined peer counseling. So if you're in Kenya State right now, there's something called peer counseling. So it's just volunteering, right? We do activities, we peer counseling as the name suggests. So counseling is part of the Kenya State counseling unit. And that was one thing that I really highlighted during my application process. Like I'm a peer counselor. So it's the fact that you are in a community, but you're just not a member of the community. You're actually a contributor in that community. So advising my younger self, I'll take on more volunteering opportunities, even not for MasterCard opportunities, right? For all other opportunities in the US, when you are trying to study abroad, you can highlight these things on your CV as though you worked, whether
Yeah.
paid or unpaid, they are work experiences. So I would say that put yourself more in like these things while you are in school because my sister is in school. I'm like, you people, all you do is stay in the class and in school and be on your phones, right? So
Yeah.
use those time you are spending on your phone to take part in those things.
All right. So there is a post on LinkedIn that is highlighting this scholarship we are talking about. And shout outs to Matthew on LinkedIn for doing this. So the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship gives some of the best scholarship. And interestingly, Emmy, I wanted you to talk about that before I share this. When you mostly apply to a university in the US, mostly you get a tuition waiver that is a full scholarship, 20 hours of work. What did your scholarship entail?
Okay. So MasterCard, I always say is one of the most comprehensive scholarships. And it's from my study abroad experience as like creating the content because
Right.
I didn't know how much the visa fees were. I didn't know how much my flight ticket was. All I knew was things were being paid, right? So I know that it's included the visa processing fees, application fees, flight tickets, full accommodation as at once you get a scholarship, whether you're in Ghana or the US, full accommodation, monthly stipend. And I know some scholarships where there's a clause that once you're getting a monthly stipend, you can't work as an international student. Those 20 hours are forfeited. With
Yeah.
MasterCard, you still do get the opportunity to work. Medical insurances are paid. I remember when I first came to the US, they gave us money to settle down before
Wow.
our stipends came. If you are sick and you go to the hospital, MasterCard takes care of it. If you buy $1 book and you send that book for reimbursement, you get it.
Wow.
Yeah, every month there was money that was allocated like to every student to buy stationery. So I remember I had to use the money. So I used to buy books to Ghana. That's how comprehensive it was.
Oh, I see. So it means that do you have to pre-finance anything to be reimbursed? For example, when you're starting the process, you put in the application, you are being selected. You wait for MasterCard to, schedule an appointment for visa interview for you. How involved are you in the process?
More or less, you are like bring your documents.
Okay.
Sort of. Yeah, okay. So upload your passport, upload your transcript evaluation to this portal, and the
Mhm.
next thing you are sent a receipt that maybe your visa fees have been paid for.
Oh, wow.
Like yeah, send your passport and then maybe something, and then the next thing they send you the receipt that your flight ticket has been paid for. I didn't know
Oh,
the
okay.
price of service fees until I started doing study abroad.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
everything was paid for.
Yeah, everything was done and paid for by MasterCard. I remember my visa process. The only thing we did was to fill out DS-160, because obviously that's about yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
you fill it out, and then the scheduling is even done by Mastercard. Finding a date for you is done by Mastercard.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow, interesting. So in that case, would you be on F1, J1, or what category of visa were you on?
Yeah, so you are on F1 visa, which most US students are on. If you are going to the UK Mastercard, you get a J1 visa. So it's more of the country you are going to.
Oh, I see. All
Yeah.
right. So, let's bring this post up. And so, a lot of people, their question is, how do I apply? So, if you go to LinkedIn, Matthew has made this great post about the Mastercard Foundation and their participating institutions. So, as Emmy, tell us, do you have to select the specific country and institution you want to go to whilst applying?
Yeah, so Mastercard has a couple of partnerships. So
Mhm.
if they are partnering with let's say UC Berkeley, and UC Berkeley is on your list, you just click on that link for UC Berkeley and apply.
I
So
see.
I know that, yeah, my friends in Canada, is because they wanted to go to Canada, they look for Mastercard Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you just Google that, maybe Mastercard UK, Mastercard Canada, Mastercard USA, they are participating, and understand that not every institution is, partnered with Mastercard. So
Yeah.
it means that you cannot apply to a specific school and then now come and apply for the Mastercard, right?
Yeah.
You need to rather apply for the scholarship. Then,
Mm-hmm.
in applying for the scholarship, you select the specific school and program you want to go and study.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So if you check this LinkedIn post, UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, it's in the University of California school system. So, Berkeley is one of the campuses and it's an Ivy League school. So the
Yeah.
deadline is December 1st to January 2025. So University of Toronto, they have a master's program. Remember, there is an undergraduate option, there is a master's option. So the deadline is November 4th, and then University of Edinburgh in the UK. That is also November 8th, so it's already passed. But
Yeah,
at
most of
least you.
them, yeah. So we were making, there was a lot of noise around it. I know a couple of people have been selected too.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So it means that somebody else can also focus on this. If you are in second year, you can also focus on this
Yeah.
for your third year next year.
Yeah. So I was come to say it. You can save this post, because one of my posts I made last year was still relevant, because it was the same schools, the same deadline. It's just the year that changes. So maybe this year you can focus on other options. If it doesn't work next year, make sure you're prioritizing, maybe applying for MasterCard.
Right. Let's move on. So there's University of Oxford in the UK. This is for masters. The undergraduate and masters at McGill University. This is in Canada, and there is also University of Oxford. I've spoken about that. So you just have to Google Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, and then it will pop up all the universities,
Mm-hmm.
the various level, whether it's undergraduate, whether it's masters, or the PhD level, and then you can save this post if the deadline is passed, so that later on you prioritize it,
Mm-hmm.
notwithstanding whichever level you are, so that you can also focus on your studies to be able to get a better grade that would qualify you as a needy but brilliant student, right? All right. So moving on, getting into the so when you got into the US, you started from final year, that is level 400, or you had to do some level 300 semesters courses as well.
Yeah. So you get a scholarship, you still have to do your 4 years, right? So but those 4 years were courses we had to take in the US, and then for all of the other batches, they come to the US, do their undergraduate
Hmm.
last or final year. But my batch COVID hit, so we were doing our undergraduate in Ghana, but we're US students. I had
Oh,
an
okay.
I-20. I was taking my classes online, just with the time difference of Arizona, which at the time was 7 hours. So I was taking some of my classes like maybe at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. So that was it.
So you finally moved in to complete it here, or you started the masters here?
So I started a master's here because after the final year, we were able to get a date for the visa interview. And then
Mm.
I came here to do the master's. So the program is called the IADP 4+1. So the name 4+1 means that your master's is 1 year, which means that it's an accelerated master's.
Oh, okay.
So once you are doing a 1 year master's, you don't get a vacation, right?
Mm.
Because even during the summer, you have to take courses because you are doing a master's for 2 years in 1 year.
I see. I see. And I understand that your program is STEM, and if you can give us an idea, a lot of people do not understand how a business program could be STEM.
Okay. So on my channel, I'm always advising people that before you apply to a school, make sure that you're reaching out to the program coordinators. One thing you don't want to miss is knowing if your program is STEM or non-STEM,
Yeah.
because it plays a huge role. As much as you want to get in so fast, when you come here, there's a lot to it that we don't talk about, right? Imagine after school you have 1 year. So I'm still explaining what STEM is.
Yeah.
When you are in a non-STEM program after school, you have 1 year of OPT, which is like a privilege every international student has
Mm-hmm.
to work as, like, you are a worker, but more or less to them you're a student. They give you the opportunity to work.
Yeah.
After the 1 year, if you don't have any type of visa, you're expected to go back. And
Yeah.
that is why how people find themselves wanting, and you have to take other routes that you might not have planned to take.
Right.
If your program is STEM, the only difference between STEM and non-STEM is the postgraduate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Postgraduate, if you are in a STEM program, you get 3 years. One, which is still the OPT, and two, which is the STEM extension, 2 years of STEM extension. And this is because the US is trying to encourage more programs in science, technology, mathematics, right? So if you're applying, make sure you're reaching out to a program coordinator to know if this is STEM or non-STEM. For example, I had somebody I assisted, he got full funding in a non-STEM program,
Yeah.
got partial funding in a STEM program. My advice was to go for the STEM program, because for partial funding, if your cost of attendance is less, then you can actually do other sources of financing.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I saying this? Even me that I have STEM extension, if at the end of my 3 years I don't have a working visa, I need to find another means, like
Right.
marriage, which you are not ready for, right? So the 3 years give you enough time to look out for opportunities in the US. With the 3 years, even if you plan to go back, you have accumulated some money that you can start something in Ghana with.
Now
So
you
I
work.
would advise always go for STEM and non-STEM. I know right now you're asking yourself, my program was HR. Why is it STEM?
Mm-hmm.
So some schools do the classification. As at the time I was applying, my program was not STEM. So in the middle, I didn't even like. So I think I'm in your shoes right now. I don't know the difference between non-STEM and non-STEM. My only problem is I've gotten admission in the US. I was so excited, and then master customers and said that program classifications have been changed, right? And then they said our program is now STEM. And then they now explain to us what STEM was. And we're like, oh, okay. So program classifications change. So you always want to reach out to the program coordinator once again, asking what classifications are. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because don't use the name of the program to judge if it's STEM or non-STEM.
Right.
HR is never classified STEM, but I still got a STEM master's. So bottom line, don't use the name of the program, because I know some schools classifying public administration as STEM, but
Exactly.
public
Yeah.
administration is not STEM,
Yeah.
right? So if you are making your own judgments without research, you might lose out on opportunities that will give you long-term stay in the US.
I see. All right. So if you're just tuning in, I'm still talking with Emmy, and Emmy has a YouTube channel called SL with Emmy. Now, because you're joining the session, we want to give you the opportunity to also help you with your study abroad process. So this is how we are doing it. Every week we select one individual who will be able to subscribe, comment, follow, and you automatically enter a draw. Now, after the session, we'll make the draw and then we select one person. So every week we select one person, and life keeps on changing from there. So if you are joining us, you're not late. This session will still be live across the SL with Emmy platform on YouTube, as well as all the Fred Effect social media platforms. So all the sessions we've done in the past, you can check them out, and then you watch them as well. It's very insightful. It's going to really help with your process. So let's continue. So in terms of coming to the US, has it been worth it? Sometimes people know that there's a lot of stress you go through this to be successful with this process. Would you have wished to have stayed back in your home country? How has studying abroad really changed your life?
Okay. I'll be double-sided on this one. Studying abroad has been worth it because if those that know me, they know me, right? I think I did a video on my channel talking about my journey. I was one person that completed undergraduate without a laptop.
Right.
So you can understand where I am coming from. Not that from a poor home, but I didn't have a laptop, right? And the university, I feel like laptop is a basic necessity for you to excel academically. Notwithstanding that I didn't have a laptop, I was still a first class student. So no matter your situations, you take hold of your life, right? And then make decisions that impact you positively. And to say study abroad is worth it is an understatement because I always cite this example on my channel that if somebody, and I know somebody that in Ghana is earning 10,000 Ghana cedis,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm an HR journalist in Amazon. I'm not going to state my salary. I'm going to use a tier one Amazon associate as an example. I do know that they get about $21 an hour.
Wow.
So every month, every week, if I assist people with their paycheck, some of them get about $1,000 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
a week, right?
Right.
So they are using even somebody who this person is an engineer in Ghana, is earning 10,000 Ghana cedis, and then this person, Amazon associates, no educational qualifications at all. If you come to the US, once you have your work permit, Amazon is one of the easiest jobs you can get, right?
Yeah.
They don't do interviews or anything for the tier one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this person is getting about how many $1,000 is right now it's 16,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Judge for yourself. That Amazon associate is making 6,000 Ghana cedis, worth more than engineer in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will pay taxes. We do say the taxes are high and all of that. Ghana, they take taxes. Unless you are not working, you think they don't take taxes. They take it, but they don't use it for what it's intended purpose. That one's under conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the person that is working as an engineer in Ghana is making less than somebody without an educational qualification in Ghana. That's first thing. So financially, our advice, it's better. Um, Also it broadens your mindset, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I was in Ghana and you interviewed me, I wouldn't be eloquent to speak like this. It's because of the environment I find myself. Even me, if I go to work, I'm seen as timid. I'm
Yeah.
seen as less confident. So you can imagine the kind of people you deal with. So it just broadens your horizon on a lot of things. Also, it brings you early success as an international student or as an individual in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, as much as maybe I'm not rich, I can venture into real estate right now than my friends in Ghana, right?
Right.
Because I have the capital, I have the funds. So you become successful early, right? And career wise, I would say career growth is when you are starting, let's say HR journalist one, you know that the next step I have to work towards is HR journalist two. The organizational structure or the organizational chart is very explicit. Everyone has access to it. Your
Right.
promotions might delay, but you know your next step. Now in Ghana, if you are working, if someone gives you work, the person is doing you a favor of giving you work. So to think of promotion is like you are crazy,
Yeah.
right? So those are the things I'm saying that usually we say is worth it, but on what basis? I've given you a lot of basis. Financial wise, it's worth it. Career wise, there is more opportunity for growth. Long term wise, you can venture into investment because you have the funds.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we say that adwene wɔ hɔ nso aka sika. What you say? Yeah, you are in Ghana, but you have the mindset, you have the ideas. But sika no way. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So once you have the money, you can do all of these things.
I do know Honza Keska.
Aka
So,
sika.
so, so, like a lot of people do the same thing. I do know hope for studying abroad, but
Aka
I
adwuma
guess
no a mobɛyɛ no mompɛ adwuma no yɛ.
So yeah, that's very true. I thought you were going to be double sided. I thought you were going to talk
Yeah,
about the
my
other side.
other side is that
Mm,
it's very lonely out here.
right.
Very, very lonely out here. To the extent that sometimes it becomes difficult, you miss your family. But I think that if you are really bent on study abroad, missing your family is nothing.
Yeah.
But then also on that side, it makes you think of settling down or finding a life partner early.
Mhm.
So you realize that most of your friends, after they are done with school, after 1 year of working, they are married.
Right
You
now,
are
I'm the only person who's not married.
in your
Everybody,
friends, right?
I tell you.
Yeah, you think of settling down early, and I think that's beneficial too. So my double-sided is I always want people to know that realistically it's a win for you to be in abroad, but then we don't tell them it's lonely. I got one guy that I helped and then he came in the fall and he texted me. He didn't tell me he was lonely. I was like, if I told you, you guys would say that I'm deterring people from coming abroad. So come and see for yourself. Yeah, it's very lonely out here though. Like if you
Awesome.
have to make hard decisions like immigration, Chawechia. Nah,
It's
yeah,
not. It
it's
is
a
not
lot.
on the grounds. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm still talking to Emmy. Remember the question for today is which university program or country do you wish to study on a scholarship? So let us hear from you. And as you type your answers in the comment section, automatically you enter the draw for today's you enter today's draw so that at the end of the session we'll select one person. Now let's go through some of the universities you were mentioning. So we spoke about Arizona State University. Normally what I try to do is to show the website so that people can know some of these universities we
Okay.
are talking about. So this is the website of Arizona State University. What can you tell us about this institution?
I think Arizona State is one of the best in the US, not because I went there, but
Yeah.
it's because of my experience and then people's thoughts of the school, people's experiences as well. So I remember in Ghana, nobody cares about how you are doing career wise, but they
Mhm.
used to organize career sessions for us.
Yeah.
My resume that I have, it was more or less done by them because we did it together. You have a career coach that you have weekly meetings with. Now, I don't think any school in Ghana will tell me that they are taking time to invest in their students like this. So
Yeah.
that was one highlight for me that I'll tell you to take advantage of. Yeah.
And one of the schools under the Mastercard Foundation when it comes to the US is also UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, and this is their website. Remember that apart from the scholarship that Emmy went through, you can also directly apply for either a graduate program or undergraduate program in any of these universities I'm talking about. So I have a couple of friends at Arizona State University. Shout outs to Madam Sandra. So she is currently studying a PhD in the same institution. So if you also have a master's degree, you can directly apply into any of these institutions we are mentioning. All right. So the other institutions in the UK that are Mastercard Foundation partner is also University of Oxford. I'm sharing their website as well, so you can also check them out. What has been your best experience as an international student?
My best experience as an international student. I would say the money after school. Yeah, I'm not able to think about anything. Like, I mean, it's been a good experience so far. So you don't even have the opportunity to pinpoint one. But when after school you get an offer and you convert it to Ghana cedis, it will become a very best experience.
What do you miss home? Is it the food?
My family, and then one thing I think is one of your question. One thing I really struggled with is the food.
Oh, I
So
see.
yeah, I still don't eat their food. People ask me how I am able to keep in shape. If you eat so much fries, you get fat. Like, so I'm always cooking. Like, it means that I'm spending extra money in getting the African food to eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I went to an African restaurant whilst I was in Arizona. I think it's one of the best places I've.
West Hat, right?
It was beautiful. The
Yeah,
place
the
is
food is
just
yeah,
nice.
the food is good. The place is nice.
Yeah, and the environment. Usually when you go to some other, I don't want to
I
criticize
know what
anybody's
that
place.
place that you are coming from.
But I think so far I've been to a lot of African restaurants. You know, Massachusetts. I was there. Colorado. I've been to an African restaurant. Ohio. You know, a lot of places. But the one in Arizona. Shout out to them. I'm not doing an advert for them, but it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
beautiful
West.
place.
It's called West Hat.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
and the
nice, and the food
environment.
is good.
Yeah, the food is good.
Mm-hmm.
Being alone in Arizona, that's what I was doing. I just drive, go get some
Mm.
African food. I'm good. Anyway, so it's a beautiful place. Just that, talk to us about that. A lot of people, when they want to study abroad, one thing they think about is that I can't stand this weather. It's very cold, snow. I'll fall sick, stuff like that. But guess what? Arizona is hot. I did national service in Bollywood boy, so I thought that Bollywood boy, nothing you go fish show me for
Mm.
hotness. But Arizona is super hot, and it doesn't snow in Arizona State University. Yeah,
Yeah.
so usually the experiences are different if you are traveling. Just find out, because if you are going to Arizona State University and somebody tell you to buy maybe winter jacket, you're wasting your money. It's not worth
Oh,
it.
but it's actually cold. It's actually cold in the winter, but it's not really cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think one of the things you also want to factor when you're applying to schools, whether undergraduates or postgraduates, is the differences in the state, right? There's US is like a holistic term, UK is like a holistic term. Staying
yeah,
in Arizona is like you're in a different world than staying in Maryland or Washington or even
yeah,
in Ohio.
yeah,
Okay, so it's very different. So you want to like do a little research, and I say research online will give you okay standard of living and all of those things. You want to maybe utilize tools like LinkedIn.
hmm,
Students in Arizona State University or Arizona State University, other Ghanaian people will come up, reach out to this person. I'm planning to or I've gotten admission in Arizona State, or I'm planning to apply. What is your opinion of the place?
yeah,
What do you think, right? It just give you a real-time experience or real-time answers to what you are thinking about. Because if you are someone who can stand heat, Arizona will not be for you. It will be a very healthy place for you to stay. Yeah, someone who doesn't like cold, staying in like Washington State might not help because it's
yeah,
very cold most often. If you are someone who wants typically something like the Ghanaian weather, I would say that I've stayed in Maryland before, so Maryland would be a good choice because as long as I stayed there, it snowed like once or twice for a couple of winters, right? And it's sunny, it's beautiful out there, just like Ghana, some way, somehow. So
hmm,
you want to know the differences in these states. Some are very expensive that your stipend will not be enough. Some will pay less, but then you still get to save a lot. So you want to look out for what are you looking for? Because maybe I would say I'm going for the less one because I don't have a life. I'm not a party person. But if you're
right,
someone who enjoys going out or having a city life, I would say go to Chicago, right? So
right,
these are the things you want to consider if you are looking to study in any of the states. Do a real time. I'm not saying Google. I'm specifically saying find people in these schools that have experienced it. What is the weather like? If you are reaching out to somebody, sometimes it's annoying that you say hi, expect the person to say hi back, and then how are you? Just go straight to the point. I'm looking to apply to Arizona State University. I see on your LinkedIn profile that you are studied there before. I wanted to ask the following question: what is the weather like? What is the state of the food? What is this? If I'm so busy and I see this question from somebody, I think that this person is serious, has done some research, or is looking for good information. I'll take 5 minutes of my time to reply. So let's
right.
also be constructive in reaching out to people.
Awesome. What are some of the culture shocks you've experienced?
Culture shocks. The
Yeah.
fact that if you work, you don't have to ask your employer for your money before you are paid. It's a culture shock.
But you're throwing jabs at our people back home. Like so.
Oh, like it really like you asked me my culture. It really is my. I love Ghana. Like my friends are like, I'm so invested in Ghana. I'm always doing Ghanaian politics. But
Right.
the thing is, it's very like we have to tell you in Ghana when your national service is paid, it's like the government has done you a favor. But in America, if you are paid monthly, they don't wait for the first of the month. They pay you at the end of the month you are about to enter. Sometimes
Right.
my pay comes like days before I'm able to notice, or like I need money and I look at it, oh, I've been paid, right? That's how seamless life is. Also, time management was a cultural shock because Ghanaian man, you can't Ghana man time. You will not be there. The bus will leave you because their bus system is very accurate. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're able to calculate that the bus will be at 10:09 and it will be there at 10:09. So yeah, the bus system and the accuracy of their time. And then also the confidence levels of the students and people in general in the US, even though the person has no idea about what you are trying to say, the way they will say it and then the way they're able to keep conversations was a cultural shock to me.
I see. I'm still talking with Emmy. It's been an interesting conversation, and people will come after you.
Nah, they know that what I'm saying is true. Like, and then in my visa interviews, it's not like I'm trying shade at Ghanaians right now. I'm just trying to be realistic. By my visa interviews, I'm like, never underplay Ghana or your home country because you want to secure a visa. It just tells the visa officer that you have an intent or you have an immigrant intent of not coming back.
Right.
Okay, so why are you going to this school? I'm going to this school because of this, and they don't say because that technology does not exist in Ghana. So there are situations where you have to speak good about Ghana, but
Mhm.
I'm just being factual. Say my cultural shock was I get my pay and I don't know I'm paid.
All right. So, the a lot of people may think that since your scholarship everything was paid for, it means that the interview was just a walkthrough. Talk to us about your visa interview experience, and technically, do you know any of your colleagues who had the scholarship and yet couldn't secure the visa, or once you get a scholarship, visa is guaranteed?
No, so it's okay. So as much as my scholarship sounds like it was a cool deal,
Hmm.
I did series of interviews with white people.
Oh,
So it
okay.
was kind of trying to prove yourself that you are worth this easy life, sort of, right?
Okay.
I wrote six essays, I wrote seven essays.
For the
Apart from the
scholarship
first
application?
application, yeah, I wrote seven essays, and one essay is 1,500 words. And they
Wow.
were not essays, just essays. One of my essays was like, write about an essay that starts with I envision a world, or write an
Mm,
essay that ends with I envision a world. So this one actually brings out your thought in you, right? So it was not that easy, but once you have been through the hard process, everything else was easy. So the visa interview, you guys will say, okay, it's going to be easy too. It was easy for sure, but yeah, you asked the question that was there somebody. Yeah, we had I think one person in my batch that did not get it out of the 50 people.
even after getting this whole scholarship and stuff like that, I
Yeah,
mean,
so that I told you that it was every year at the time. So there were years where they got like maybe two people that were denied, three people that were denied. And it depends, right? The visa interview you can't really predict, but our visa interview was easy because it's like 30 people have been lined up, and if you are three people at the consular office, like three visa officers,
right.
everybody comes and from the MasterCard. And MasterCard send them a scholarship letter or
Mhm,
something. So it's like
mhm.
when you get there, they sort of know you, but they still
Okay.
have to do their job, right?
Yeah.
I always tell people that the visa officers are there to also do their job, making sure that their country is secured from people that are coming in.
Mhm.
So they asked, I think my visa questions were like, what's your plan after school?
Okay.
As much as I've gotten a scholarship, if you don't have a better plan after school, I won't give you a visa if I'm a visa officer. So
Right.
it's basically the same process. I think my answer was I had a non-profit and I was going to go back to manage my own non-profit and all of that. But the person that was not giving the visa, the reasoning was they had to do further checks on the person.
Mhm.
For some reason we didn't know, but the person got through after. Yeah. So my key takeaway from the visa interviews, as much as you have gotten a full scholarship, usually we say, oh, your visa is secured. You
Yeah.
still want to close the loops. For US or the study abroad journey, you are not done until you have gotten to your destination.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Because even for me, as coming with MasterCard, when I got to New York, it's an experience I also share on every interview. They took me to some room B at the port of entry that
Amukoshisha unzemu.
yeah, yes, they have to do some further checks on me.
Okay.
So even at the port of entry, you can be bounced, right? You can be sent back. So you are not done until you are done, making sure you are living a life that is without questioning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you are preparing for your interview as much as you prepare without funding, because what's your plan after school is not tied to my scholarship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. There's somebody asking, shout outs to Kosi Davis. Kosi Davis is asking, which one do you apply first, the school or the MasterCard scholarship? Emmy, would you want to respond to this?
Yeah, so it depends on the partnership of the school too. So MasterCard ASU, we had to apply to the scholarship. Then the scholarship gives you the green light. After this whole interview process and all of the things that I'm talking about, they give you the green light to go ahead and apply. And then for the MasterCard, some of the schools that I know, you have to apply to the school. Once you've gotten admission, the MasterCard is just like you've gotten admission, it becomes another source of funding for you after getting admission. Like apply to MasterCard. If you get it, you have full scholarship from the school. So it really depends on which one you are going for. So I would say that for my answer would be just search. When you go on the school that you're applying, trying to apply, they will list all the steps you need and
Mhm.
everything you are supposed to do to get the MasterCard. If you are supposed to apply to the school first, they will let you know.
Awesome. Let's take a couple of questions from
Okay.
people. Okay, let's see. All right. There are a couple of people tuning in from Sierra Leone. Shout outs to you if you're tuning in from Sierra Leone. And Harriet is saying she wants to study masters in food and nutrition at Ohio University. Okay, that's awesome. That's Ohio. I think Ohio University has nutrition science program. And then Ibn is saying that I would want to pursue MS Economics in Eastern Michigan University. That's awesome. All right, let's see if we can pick some questions. Another person, Harriet, is also looking at Temple University, Master of Biology and Bioinformatics. Okay. Why do you think like a lot of people want to target the US,
As
a destination to study?
I don't know if I say right now, you guys will say I'm doing job, but I'm in our headquarters in US. So yeah, I think that as much as at this point in Ghana's life right now, if you're in Ghana, if you are traveling to even South Africa, you are better off than the person in Ghana. So but
Well,
I think people will choose the US because it provides more opportunities. There's more opportunities in the US. If you are in the UK, maybe you have a different answer to this question, but I feel like the US provides a lot more opportunities when even it comes to career after school, right? Because mind you, you are choosing this country just because of a 1 year program, but the
right.
remaining of your life is in that country you are planning to go to. Does it align with your way of life or where you want to go in life? So that's what I'll say. Like in that aspect, US provides more opportunities.
What would be your advice to Kabute?
I have ACCA one, level one and partly level two. I have other over a decade experience in hospitality finance. I want to further in same with scholarship. I need your assistance. So not deviating from Kabute's question, we had a couple of people that stated specifically what university they wanted to go to. It's good to have dreams, right? But I would say that if you limit yourself to wanting just one university, it takes a very long time because unless you guys have done the research of knowing the cost of attendance for these schools, maybe the cost of attendance is way too high, then you have to change the school. Maybe they don't provide assistantship, maybe you have to pay for your own tuition. So these are the things you want to consider before settling on a school. So always say that have a specific sample space, right? It doesn't have to be just one school. Have a sample space of schools that you are working with. If option A fails, option B works. For Kabute, I think you have the experience to apply. You have over 10 years um experience in hospitality and finance is a very um prospective field in the US. So I would say maybe hospitality is creating a limitation, right? Remove hospitality and look at the bigger picture of finance. You
Right.
might get funding in most of these schools. And then once I was trying to look into an application for some, but the person said they did packaging technology in Kenya. I think I did a video of the step by step of some of the things you should consider in these things. They did
Right.
packaging technology, but when I went to the packaging page, I still have it open. They have packaging in food science, packaging in value chain, packaging.
Mhm.
So you might say hospitality finance, creating a limitation. Look at the broader picture. And then once you get to the school's websites, maybe they also have hospitality finance, right? So yeah.
Otu is asking a very important question. So I wanted to ask that as well. That are there specific universities in Africa that Mastercard Foundation takes students from? So, for example,
So
yeah, go ahead.
Mastercard, I don't know, like it's Mastercard is a non-profit organization, right? They
Hmm.
have a lot of partnerships that maybe I might not be aware of, right?
Right.
So my school, for my opportunity that I got, you had to be in Kenya or Ashese to
Oh,
be
okay.
considered, right?
Okay.
This year they brought out a new 10-year plan, which means that for the next 10 years they're going to be giving free scholarship to students. But this one, everybody can apply.
Right.
Everybody, UCC, Kenya, Legon can apply. So I think you should just have the mentality of, oh yeah, I want Mastercard scholarship. Then go ahead and do the research on which one fits, because they have a ton of opportunities for different qualifications and requirements.
Right. All right. So it means that with your opportunity, if somebody as a then was studying in Legon or UCC,
They
the
can't
person.
apply.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That makes sense. All right. So we'll be ending the session here. We have about almost 1,000 people watching us across our various social media platforms. This has been the Fred Effect. And this is the Study Abroad podcast. So every weekend we do this, and we bring individuals who have been through the process to share their journey and experience with you, so that you can also learn from it, be motivated by it to go about your study abroad process. All right. So what will be your final words to anybody who tuned in today?
Okay. Yeah, I might have said some things that hurt your feelings, but that's fine. I'm just I'm just being factual. I love Ghana, but it saddens my heart that like you pay a lot of money to go to the university, and I feel like I was having an argument with my friend that like you pay money to go to the university, but at the end of the day, if you look at our graduates and how they are thinking, and
Mhm.
I'll not take myself from the equation. If I was there, I'm in the same soup, so I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the system. Like yesterday, they said a politician has bought a bus for the Legon students. I don't know how many of you saw that video and the state of the bus. And we have graduates that are sitting in the bus and are happy because they bought
Right.
that bus for them. So they've starved us of our privileges such that we become so happy when they give us the very little things. So I will encourage you to take your study abroad your journey seriously. As much as you are serious, it will work out for you. It's not like is an existing idea that's not working. It's proving to work for people. You guys can go and see my channel. I did a video where I came from. The picture on that thumbnail, people didn't think it was me, right? So the study abroad journey can actually change your life. Take
Right.
it seriously. One thing I've noticed, and I was talking about it, Senior Fred, that most of you guys have the idea of we want to travel, but to put in the work, it sounds fictitious for you. Put
Yeah.
in the work, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Chat GPT is there. Last week I was teaching on my channel how to write code email. Go to chat GPT and you guys can see that I did it in seconds. Wrote a code email to a professor. Take the process in your own hands. It will really change your life. Above all, take God seriously. Because for them to pick 50 people from KST, for me not to have a protocol and to be part of it, it's not something I take lightly. It has to be God, and it has to be the favor of God. Whoever you worship or whatever creator you surrender to, make sure you're taking that seriously. And I should still in the US, hit me up.
Yeah, I love that. And you see, sometimes when people travel abroad, some people tend to say that, oh, now since you travel abroad, you don't believe in God or you don't go to church. I tell people, I don't know what's your thoughts on that. That everybody who has been able to go through this process is a very good spiritual person in the beginning.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you, because
Yeah, if you know KSC, you know a parade grounds, eh? That mean I used to sleep on parade grounds to pray. So it's not like you see a nice picture and think that this person in this picture doesn't pray. We've
yeah,
been on the grounds to pray. Pastor KSC prayer force. So it's you just have to know. I interviewed one lady who is here doing PhD. I think last week that was my guest.
Yeah.
And she's like, it has to be God because how she got her professor. So don't take she's like, join all the links, alpha hour, me, maybe I don't join, but you can join as much as you believe in it. Take God seriously. And trust me, you need God more than ever when you get here. And you have 3 years to find working visa. And H1B is a lottery. And if they do it and the lottery, that there's a lot to it that we don't say. So take God.
What do you think? We're almost done, but what do you think? You know, um, about people who get denied for their visa. What do they do wrongly?
Yeah, so I think that it can be a number of factors, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you just didn't do anything wrong. The visa officer is just having a bad day. If
Right.
you come to me and tell me that you were denied your visa, I'm like, it's part of the process. Denial is definitely part of the process. It's up to you to put yourself together once again. Then redo. I always tell people, do a reassessment. Okay, is it my fault? It was not my fault. Okay, was it the visa officer? What did I do wrong? What
Hmm.
can I do differently? So it's a number of things. If your visa is denied, it can be as much spiritual as you are becoming. You
Yeah.
don't know what will happen in the US when you come at that particular year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
God's timing is really the best. So
Yeah.
it's a number of things. But the human aspect, and that's what there, your part that you can do is the reassessment. Did I have funding? If I didn't have funding, okay, that's why I was denied. Then let's go ahead. Let's do this process differently and get more funding to go for a visa interview. Did I say something that the visa officer thought that I wasn't going to come back to my home country?
Yeah.
Okay, next time, if I'm going for the visa interview, I'm not saying this again. Do the reassessment as soon as your visa has been denied because you clearly remember what you said at
Hmm.
the visa interview. Then you know that maybe I shouldn't have said this. Okay.
Awesome. All right. If you did right? How do you say it? I hope I said it right. Yeah. So, we are going to end it here, but remember that the name of the YouTube channel is Excel. So Cele. So Excel with Emmy. And please click on the subscribe button, put on the notification bell, be part of the family. And there are a lot of insightful content. So how do people get in touch with you? If somebody needs any form of assistance, like maybe review my SOP for me, how do people reach you?
Yeah, I think even in my visa preps, I was sharing my number on air. So if you
Yeah.
watch those videos, you still get my number. And
Okay.
then I have my social
Oh,
media. I'm very
your WhatsApp number?
Yeah, my
Oh,
number.
okay.
Yeah, I use just one number. I don't know. I was get at some point like I can get 200 messages and I'm not able to get to them on time. But you can reach out to me on all social media platforms. Even though I might not be posting content on all of them. I'm a very social media person. I'm on Instagram. And everything is on my channel. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm active on
Right.
LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
Right.
And if
So
you watch my videos, you definitely get my number too. Yeah.
all right, so now time to bring out the draw. Let's see. Okay, so we have like 200 entries at the moment. Can we make it 210? So once you type a comment in the comment section, you automatically enter the draw. So let's see if we can get 210. Then we'll start the draw. So if you are being selected this week, what we do is that if you have a high school or a diploma qualification, then the team will take your document. We handle your undergraduate applications for free. If you have a bachelor's, HND, or maybe a master's, and then you want to pursue graduate program, the team will have what we call the Fred Effect Mentorship Program, which in the past has assisted thousands of people. I mean, I noticed you interviewed one of my brothers, Emmanuel. I think Emmanuel. You had a career interview with him. The
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's one of the people I had opportunity to assist. Like, is it 3 years ago,
Oh
4 years
God.
ago? Yeah, he's an amazing individual. Shout outs to you, Emmanuel. All right, so let's go. So let's have the
Yeah,
draw.
you guys, I think your numbers have increased. So I'll pay one application fee for one person too.
Oh, okay,
Last
okay,
year I
okay.
paid a lot of application fees as long as people join my channel because that's our only way of giving back to people. So you can select one extra person, I'll pay the application fee.
Okay, so the system allowed me to, let's see how I'm going to do it. The system allowed me to do one draw. All right, so then the opportunity for this week would change. If you are being selected today, Emmy will pay an application fee for you. So can you lay down the instructions so that we are very clear that the person
Yeah,
should be
so
done with the
I don't know.
application?
I mean, it's a raffle, right? So if you
Yeah,
pick one person,
the person
just
should be done
maybe,
with the application, and then
yeah, you should be serious. I'll assess your. I'm not paying my $50 away, bro.
all right. So
Yeah, you should have everything ready, and okay. So the only thing I'm going to check is your resume, right?
okay,
Yeah, and then
okay.
maybe if there's something wrong, I'll tell you that you want to maybe change your resume, and then I don't know how they pay application fee for people, but I can send you the money.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe you log into the person's portal and then you make the payment.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So if you are
Mhm.
being selected this week, this is a good thing. I love it. God bless you, Emmy.
Mm.
So if you are being selected, Emmy is going to take care of your application fee for this week. So hopefully next week, our offer can now go. Okay. So let's have the draw. Okay, we have 242 people. Let's
Yeah,
make it
that's a lot of
250.
people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Let's make it 250 before we start the draw. So 7 more people, and if you're working on application, whether undergraduate or a master's, you should finish with it. Emmy is willing to go through your resume for you and then now pay the application fee to submit for you. So we need 6 more people to join. So we have 250. So we have five people more. And we do this every weekend. Last weekend, I had a guest on from Byte Lamar team, and they also are helping people as well, so
Yeah,
they
it's a
opted.
very good channel too.
Yeah, Bytes Lamad. They are doing amazing. If you've not subscribed, and I like the fact that most of the people who have been through the process are willing to share their process on social media so that others can easily follow, because initially it wasn't like that. you know
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah. Just oh Fabi were
Well, for
routine.
answer, oh, now it's me to yeah,
So
but thank God to social media. I think everybody also it's a win-win, right? You watch
yeah.
my YouTube, I pay application fee or something. It's not like we are making so much money from YouTube. The thought that some people in Ghana think if they subscribe to your channel, you are making money, so they will not
No.
subscribe. You people be warned.
Okay. Okay. I think I don't know if this was the same person selected last week. Bernard Mensah has been selected last week. Oh. Okay. Let's see if we can do the draw again. Because I think Bernard Mensah was selected.
Hey
last-
Bernard, what are you doing to be
Yeah.
selected
What are you doing
twice?
differently to be selected twice? I don't know if he was the one, because I think he won last week. So I have to do the draw again. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Pablo Mijay. So congrats to Pablo Mijay. I don't know if it's your real name, but yeah. So Pablo, you have been selected for this week, and if you're working on undergraduate application, Emmy will pay your application for you for free. So what you have to do is connect with me on Instagram, and I'll link you up with Emmy, and then you take it from there. Congrats to Pablo for being selected this week. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you using your data to tune into such an insightful content. Remember, most of the interviews or most of the sessions we've had are still live on the under the live session of the Fred Effect YouTube channel. We were live today on Excel with Emmy as well, so you can also watch it there. All right. So thank you, Emmy, so much. It's been a back and forth conversation and coming on.
Yeah, I
But
hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I wasn't too corporate because I wanted
anytime you can also let me pull up on your channel. I'll be happy to come
Okay.
on, and this is your home, so anytime you can pass through on any day. Thank you so much
Okay.
for
Thank you so much, guys. I
yeah.
wish you all the best.
So Pablo, congrats, and we will end the session here for today. Thank you, Emmy. All right. So it's been another insightful session. I spoke with Emmy. She has a YouTube channel called SL with Emmy. Please subscribe to that. And she was sharing her unique journey. Mostly people think that you need to graduate from bachelor's degree to apply for master. She was at the 3rd year at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, applied to what we call the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, got an opportunity to continue her studies at Arizona State University, and moved on into a master's degree on the same scholarship. And now she happened to be working because she had a STEM field, she had an opportunity to work for about 3 years. So this is an opportunity. If she was able to do it, we are here to encourage you and to share the information for you to know that it is highly possible you can also do it. It is easy to get in touch with the Fred Effect team. All you need to do is to send a direct message on Instagram. Across all our social media platforms is the Fred Effect. So on Instagram, just search for the Fred Effect and send me a direct message. We'll be happy to respond. We do have what we call the Fred Effect mentorship. The Fred Effect mock session platform has been existing for more than half a decade. I think we are the only team that has done this for that very long. And we've been able to assist a lot of people. We have connection with former visa officers, which I've interviewed most of them on the YouTube channel. I think we'll be bringing them back soon. So on the mock platform, we have a mock session, like visa interview mock session, every single day. So if you have an interview scheduled, just send me a direct message. You'll be added. There's a whole team that are assisting day in, day out in order to help you prepare for your visa interview. We'll be happy if you also get your visa approved. And to be able to talk to a former visa officer, the Fred Effect team has a connection with the Argo visa team. So if you want to get expert advice and coaching for your visa before you go for your visa interview, I always say that talk to a former visa officer before you go to the embassy to speak with a visa officer. So schedule an appointment with the Argo visa team, and they'll be happy to go through your document, review your document, and organize a one-on-one session with you, build your confidence before you go for the visa interview. So use a link I'm sharing on the screen to do that, and they'll be happy to assist you. If you've been denied, don't be discouraged. Denial, as Emmy said, is part of the process. So you going again, you have to re-strategize, and talking to a former visa officer is one of the best ways to do that in order to go through the situation, reassess what happened in your earlier interview. So whether it's a K1 K visa, B1 B2, F1 visa, M1 J1, whatever category of a non-immigrant or immigrant, even if you've won a lottery, you can get in touch with the Argo visa team to prepare very well for your interview. So the Fred Effect also has a one-on-one session. If you want to get in touch, you send an Instagram message or you schedule a one-on-one meeting. I will be happy to assist you. We are the only team that help individuals with high school and diploma to apply to universities for free. So when you schedule a one-on-one meeting, we want to make sure that people who contact us are serious, and that's why there is a need to schedule a meeting. We explain the entire process to you, and then we'll begin your process from there. If you have a 2-year diploma, 3-year diploma, or a high school qualification, and you want to pursue a bachelor's degree, let's have a conversation using the link I'm sharing on the screen. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. This has been an insightful episode of the Study Abroad podcast. What we do is to bring individuals who have been through the process to share their journey, their experience with you, so that you who is willing to study abroad will know the right processes to follow, and the mistakes we made, we share them with you so that you don't have to necessarily go through the same experience or mistakes. My name has been Fred. I need you to be positive and know that everything will be fine. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Have a good one.